Eric Ginto. I own this restaurant. For the revolution, 1986, graduated high school. Straight over here, I was 15 years old. Started working in fast food restaurants. And prior to that, my family already owned restaurants in the Philippines. So this is our doing this kind of business for about 40 years.
Wow.
This my mother started this restaurant, not this restaurant, but being in a restaurant when she was 15 years old.
So this is really like a part of the community now.
That is correct. So we've been in Carson for about since 1990.
At this location?
Not on this location. This is a brand new location. This is about 5 years old, but we're about a few blocks away from here, which is well, this one we purchased.
Same customers.
Yeah, pretty much almost, and then actually tripled our customers that we moved in. Because on the other the other restaurant that we have, it's almost like a strip mall like that. That is very limited. The parking.
Good exposure though.
Yeah. But it was kind of funny because we're kind of like skeptical when we buy this restaurant, because there's about 5 or 6 businesses here that fails. Yeah, ever since it started. This building used to be an old Kentucky Fried Chicken. And then after that, it just changed to become a donut shop and some other restaurant.
They moved right there?
Yeah, they moved over there. So if you actually strip this a little bit, you see some of the red colors, the red and white colors in here. So, and a lot in the attic. I find a lot of stuff in the attic.
So what was the origin of the restaurant? How did you guys come up with the idea and everything?
Oh, it's a family business starting from my grandmother, and growing in the Philippines, it's I guess that's not me anymore. I'm talking about my mother.
Yeah.
When she was young, she's the only one who got the interest of learning from my mother how to cook, which is and at 15, that's when she started learning from my grandmother. And from then on, she honed her skill and developed her own dishes and that kind of stuff. And like I said, in '86, we migrated here in the States, and 4 years afterwards, we were able to open up our own restaurant.
So this is sort of like a passing down of culture, basically.
Yeah, pretty much, yes. You could say that.
Family sort of tradition.
Yes, it's really traditional the way we make it in the Philippines. It's right over here. It's just we have to cater to some other Filipino Americans that doesn't really know what's the authentic Filipino taste is. The thing is about the Philippines is we're consists of Chinese, Mayan, Malay, I think, and Spanish. So all of that got mixed into one together until we develop our own food. So
It's all reflected in the food.
That is correct.
And these are the same sort of dishes that your mom or your grandmother would cook.
You guys get all kinds of clients or customers?
Yes, I would say about 15%. I say 15 to 20% is OTF. Other than Filipinos.
Oh.
15%?
Yeah, it's about 15-20%. But I do have at one point, one time, I could swear to you, 90% in here was Caucasian.
Really?
Yeah, I mean not Caucasian, but foreigners.
Yeah.
Our famous dish is a pork adobo. It could be made 1,000 ways. So there's really no such as almost like a standard, thing. Some people put eggs, some people put onions, So it's all kinds
So
of
this
stuff.
is specifically Manila style.
Well, Tagalog style.
Tagalog style.
So it's not really Manila style. Because Tagalog is pretty much a huge region, not just in Manila. Alright.
You've heard of Sipa?
Yeah.
You guys have any involvement with them, or have they
You know what?
you guys or anything?
We did try, is just finding the time. We just really couldn't find the time. Before SIPA, I think I met a few members, and there's quite actually a few. Because it's the same thing with the Filipino culture. I built my association, and my friend probably will make another association. So it becomes a competition. That's the thing about us. There's no such thing as unity. I don't know if I'm saying that bad things about Filipinos. It's all about sometimes. Yeah.
And real quick, like family history stuff. Were you born here or were you born
No, I was born in the Philippines. Like, I moved here when I was 15 years old. After high school graduation.
Do you remember? Did your parents tell you any like stories? Were your parents involved? Do you remember any like U.S. involvement with like the Philippines during World War II or anything like that?
My mother doesn't really talk about.
Yeah, I understand.
I never asked her.
Yeah, no, makes sense.
That's what I was like. I see in the movies. That's about it.
I got you.
Yeah. White Filipino. I think every culture has that though, right?
Yeah. Actually, we learned about that a little bit.
Yeah.
We're like, oh, I don't like Filipino food, that kind of thing. That's too salty, too greasy, but that's how it is though.
Yeah.
You know, it's the same thing if you eat pizza, it's pretty much the same thing. You know, you get that high calorie, fatty food. So same thing with Filipino. And we don't have a diet. We don't have a diet version of this. You know, there's a lot of people, Filipino Americans already that grew up here, they're trying to avoid eating the rice, just because it's really not good. But they could have it from time to time, and just not really forgetting where you came from.
Right.
So those are all.
Making sure you have that sometimes.
Yes. And you'd be surprised that I got some people coming from all over the place. When they said this is the first time I'm actually a Filipino, it's the first time I'm going to be eating this kind of food. They're like, what are you talking about? Being Filipino, right? Oh, well, my father, that kind of thing. So I'm like, okay. I'm surprised.
So you think probably food is probably one of the best ways to spread culture, and even the people who are Filipino Americans don't even know how their food tastes.
Right, that's where basically how you connect. Everything doesn't matter if it's Filipino food or anything. If you connecting with everybody, you got everybody else. Let's go eat.
Right.
It's what you call breaking the ice or something like that to get to know everybody. It's a starter conversation. You say, oh, this food is good, you gotta try this, right? Even though you don't know the person, right? So,
it sort of reminds me. Have you seen that show? It's called Bizarre Foods with Andrew Zimmerman.
I watch it from time to time. Yeah.
It reminds me of what he says. Like the best way to know a culture is to have them share a meal with them.
Yeah, I think
like, something like that.
Something like that. Not exactly what
So paraphrasing.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for the interview.
Hey,